You know, it's a big club. O so ni nyina o bari nyina na Ronaldo e ho no obo enti na o hwe club no na odi club na chi na wo hu hawa omo eyi omo ne mafa e na afre so no so on pese obe live manju abra manju gusu a omo struggle also on pese o the English Premier League no e na afre UEFA Champions League e wo manju eti anu ho adwuma no mugusu omo je no enti no enu mpo de mo fa nto ba bi kwase obi obefimu akwa so mfimu nko so enu mpo de enka ho kra. Bruno.
I'll leave the club at the point where we were struggling and we needed something to get back in positions we wanted to be. Obviously, I never hide from that. I want to win the Premier League. I want to win the Champions League. I never hide it from that, and I will never hide. I might do it. I might not.
Academic and mature sports.
Football, but I stayed at the club because I think I still have something that I can give back to the club, not just because I'm going to be the player from Man United or the captain from Man United, just because I think I'm still very able of helping the club to get back to that positions and to get what I wanted in the first place when I came to the club. It's difficult when you hear a lot of things coming. Obviously, the Saudi situation with the money, that was a lot, and all these things in my head was about to stay in. But the words of my wife of like, have you achieved your dreams? Have you achieved everything you wanted? And that small things that she said made me understand that okay, she's in the same page as me. What I was thinking is not wrong. Let's try it. Let's keep trying it, and let's see where this takes me.
You always have to listen to your wife.
Yeah. Enti enonsom Bruno Fernandes nsɛmwa ononsom adekɔ tuja ya one stories ni bepre mame wuramu na mentam in na memfam na ho nsɛm bepre na enso emfa embra yekobisa no sasisia no since or started football because sisia no wo be player ba ko ono oje koprama no so a eden so bepra ano ye Bruno Fernandes always be consistent ogina mu an se ogina mu ale ko besan san adentia won eya injury plan no eya on prebia na and also yes e plan ya on prebia ba du ba bia wo de hye ne ho ana also tumi si aka because say ball no de eya ne passion also obobo na ni jepa entino anu ntina sometimes o pra kra na still
academic and mature sports.
Denchiraman 91.9 sports.
Obviously, I didn't have let's say massive injuries, but I think around 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I had an injury against Brighton in the semi-final of Carabao Cup or FA Cup. I don't remember exactly which one was, and I had just had my foot properly blowed, and I had the plant of my foot all bruised, and I couldn't walk. And still there, I was like, we were going through a period where we could get the Champions League spots. We were in the final of the Carabao Cup or FA Cup, one of them too. And I just said, like, I'm gonna play through this, and just because it's not because I want to show that I'm stronger than the other ones or whatever. Just I enjoy playing football. If there's something that I really can't play, okay. But I feel that pain is something that during the games you can kind of forget it. If you go with the emotion of the game, I don't really think about it, because if I have the manager that says to me like, no, stay calm, stay on the side, it's fine, you rest two games, I will be doing that. But if I have the manager on the other side saying, no, we need you, just make an effort, try it. And I played against Tottenham with my foot all blew up, and I had pain everywhere. They put a strapping on me. I hate playing with strappings. I never played with strappings. I hate having things on my feet. I feel it. I don't know. I feel strange.
Like a cramp.
Yeah, I got into the warm-up. I came out of the warm-up. I took the strap, and the guy that has just done the strap, he was there like for 15 minutes trying to make it the best way as possible. I said, I'm sorry, but I can't. I just play with this.
And Bruno Fernandes has said to you, so I see on to do it. Can I say, oh no. The night me no, but still say coach and can say oh Abrantia kola kwatras na jiwa ho me be 2 games bi pa dia oh also on tija yo ogina ball ni motitola ono no oyeboli gwe onyanja e bokra interest ono sun ebejamu ache and so and Bruno Fernandes and some edekotuja on the World Cup I say omo wrap up the World Cup with Ronaldo. Because I likely say World Cup a year ago by Ronaldo on to me embo ye on to me enkobium. And it was a very very great passer Ronaldo ewie na omaje World Cup no e dey asa animunyam because enema Ronaldo abeye dem Portugal no o say a very very great papa enti so omaje World Cup na enya bad cry enti no World Cup na omo kono o kwa koye ni bibia possible. eden ama Ronaldo sen World Cup no Ronaldo enso ebetumi age Bruno Fernandes.
Thank you very much. I will try my best to make my country proud. Obviously, as you said, wrapping up all this last World Cup with Cristiano, winning it will be something amazing, and I really hope that we can make that not just for Portugal but for everything that Cristiano gave to football in Portugal and to the world. I think will be a very nice way to end this season.
In a very, very nice way. Sam Ronaldo ne modern pa. Onosun abepo e Real Madrid bobuku no. Omonsun ejewe Eddie Jano kwan. And also any some Bruno Fernandes. Onosun Ediko Tuja. Let's see ade aba yesamansu. Any diabranti ya can say Anderson. Some echipa Ederson Omeka is a brand away season in season out. Manjum ekokose or it's not academy Atalanta. Yes, this time around the Nanka Atletico Madrid and Ekwakosa Ederson, but since I say Atletico Madrid and some any day Joao Gomez, I was like an Edema
Denchiraman Sports.
I say Atletico Madrid for pe. Intisano ebie kwedema Manju. Na omonsa akohese Ederson omonsa ensum ebetumi akana ba yese manyu nkwa enya manyu nkwa na epe abrante we yese Arsenal so eri dia abrante na chipa omonsum enyana omonsum ebetumi afa no de nakọ enonsum ene nsem efu so de eba latest nyina me de wonsem de ema na ma remfin sesisi ano eye Nottingham Forest omo owner ye friend Evangelos eye Marinakis ode se akara kotuja o se en kancho bibia se obeka ya sama ho baby Eka Tony Bro anka Morgan Gibbs White ensum ejore Tottenham Hotspur ebo oboko no ena wasem anko openi no koya anka step backwards ena anko openi no ensum etumi akono because wasi anka mbo baako say kra because we see aye nyina enitua sem Tottenham Hotspur relegation de omo promo beko enti ose anka abrante ne ko pa dia anka ye very very bad decision and ononso etumi aje no enonso ensemo Evangelos Marinakis ode so de akotujo no aye the owner of Nottingham Forest ebo oboko no and ononso ensemo akwada akotuja na ye ram kakra ba say ebo game Etia Getafe mamen boss a video abra ewon Getafe na omukwakobo game na katafo and Real for akodi agu enti omosi omonso omokone pa de omonso akoye adwuma ne simple cra yes enti akatafo na touch daro yes players abasa edekoye no goalkeepers no Joan Garcia after Wilson Sisney and from Ede Ella we any three goalkeepers abasa Ede Echo after defenders no yebenya Joao Cancelo after some Bade and Ronald Araujo yebenya Pau Kubasin Gerard Martin Jose Kuden Alvaro Cortez afe Javis Espat omina son Kobint afe midfielders no yebenya Gavi afe Pedri Fermin Lopez and afe so Mark Casado Dani Olmo afe Frankie de Jong and afe Tommy and strikers abasa at the Econo yebenya Ferran and after so Robert Lewandowski, Marcus Rashford, and after Rooney Barge, where any good players are Basan Eriko Face Timor, ye can send a Getafe. Na eno just how's it flick I got some edifa game Basa a very very tough game because yes Getafe defenders masomo yade defending the whole 90 minutes and also any easy tax a cram and far more but still focus na 3 point some so back when you win and some ediaba campuno nam any general some etumi ACP kama and also any ensemwa Hansi data flick ediko tuja was say Lami Yama prana about na go prano enye ade new bia ehu bia ade no mugusu am ehwe niema san enema wo kama ede Lamin Yama na ono nso etumi aba back na wabesi akan eden ama Barca was season die eden se Lamin Yama enso ebetumi aba but walk up on die kong se Lamin Yama ensan ono nso ekobi entin enonso eno Bernardo Silva yes say the representatives obeka say na me be catch say the representatives are for opinion no to team a ya kan say Chelsea and after so Arsenal but sisi ade ban yes say Real Madrid so ka ho bi Bernardo Silva 31 years yes say the representatives so e na call Real Madrid for oh you are brandy don't come munyana mumpe Real Madrid for so no abranti 31 years dey obede ye bo kodi mu entino Real Madrid for so anya rejecting opinion ye fe Bernardo Silva ba we to say Barca for dey me show mani mu a mitre me Barca nya no mumpe because Barca dey dey chiache na Barca so say washa enwakura no omota pepa enti ebia na Barca dem na ebia omonsom atumi asani abranti a ye kan say Bernardo Silva Gianluca Persiani and ebetotwa san UEFA for some 6 matches ban akon ede ama Gianluca Persiani yesin ye assault okoyin sorti okodidi openi e fan Vinicius Junior tem eman enonsom ensheda emboa in association football ni santino yes opinion no and some 6 matches ban omo ede ban and after so nya no ko a yes ama so ne FIFA ka sasa nka be ya World Cup and also ebe bas no onim say Gianluca Persiani ono ofi Argentina yes nka FIFA embandi no na World Cup e bas no e man ono so entumi ensia kan fama Argentina entin also ono Real Madrid for ni abre omo bu afu yes players bi wo ha omo mani bani ko from entin omo yes Andre Lunin eka ho Dani Carvajal afi David Alaba Gonzalo Garcia Frank Garcia Franco Mastantuano Eduardo Camavinga Dani Ceballos Raul Asensio yes players we nyina omo Real Madrid boku no nyaaya omo nsom ebetumi ato mu nyina na omo nsom atumi akọ nti eronsom enono Bruno Fernandes sisi na cap 3 assist pe na onso atumi abreki aya record a Calvin De Bruyne and after so Thierry Henry ensom eye in a single season onim say empeni kese we omo ye 20 sisi Bruno ekuta 17 akatra na sa na chesen opinion so etumi abreki next game Samanju ebebo no omene Brentford ebo Monday afem omene Liverpool ebebo Old Trafford na omene Sunderland abo afem omene Nottingham Forest na afem Brighton and so edebe boom entino sa eye games we nyina Bruno hwe ni mu se ononso betuma ya adwuma ne kama na ononso etumi abreki sa records ni nyina na etumi abon ema dabi sem empenifo so kase players a omonso eba the English Premier League ni mu a na omomode mpo no ekonkan utumi nka na onso onyi Bruno Fernandes enso emfa emfimu na Michael Carrick bi ma so kasa Michael Carrick se yankan che obi bia se debia Patrick China Zegbridogu openi no eye adwuma oguso a ne recovery oye nti akak de na China Zegbridogu ono nso atumi ababa ka na afa €11 so wo so nyina omo work very harder omo nso hwesem omo nso be back na omo nso abesi amakan e de ama Manju Michael Carrick.
To be honest, everything's all right as it was. Couple of knocks and niggles, a little bit coming out of the game that you'd expect, but Patrick's back working well. No, he's not back. He's working his way to being back. So I don't want to get ahead of that one, but he's certainly in making good progress and back closer to training with us, which is positive. So that's good news.
Lenny, is he be back Monday?
We're still working on that one. So there's a possibility, but at this stage it's not 100% sure.
Enti Elson Michael Carrick head coach Edema Manju Nsemua ononson edago tujwa obeka Gary Cahill apeni we dire ho a maso osintawie pa oya striker ede sa de bo obesa ne ho o kasa o se Chelsea all the time na experience players nko na watch Chelsea bo bokun me boa
academic and mature sports
Denchirman Sports
eneba wo se no ade ne ma omo ya enseda emoa ema coach bia ba na wa faili no what's the coach person of the trophy? Supporters no always be a move for course. Say Chelsea the anya hwe, say about Champions League, say the trophies. na penifo de nkran na eba nkran we say ye fa nji bibia just a conference league nkran na mo betumi de age it was enema Chelsea eye no ne nyina aka ho bi entina situation omo mu no omo nso ewo mu sisi
It's a good question because when I signed for Chelsea and I went into the dressing room full of established, experienced, world-class players who've won many trophies, there was an expectation straight away, a demand straight away. This season we have to compete, we have to win, we have to try and get our hands on a trophy.
There's a pressure, right? The minute you walk in the door, right?
Yeah. And so there should be. You've been there yourself. There was a change in obviously the ownership. There was a change in the way that they was going to do things, and clearly they was bringing in young, exciting players, and that happened quite quickly and all at once. So then there is a slight shift, I feel like, in expectation, where it's like, you're still at Chelsea, we still expect to compete, but at the same time I was the one that was saying you just need patience. Like, if you're not going to throw in a handful of experienced players and you go, no, this is the way we're going to go, then you have to wait for this experience, you have to wait for these young players to go through good times, winning the trophies, bad times where they're getting criticised for them.
Academic and matured sports.
Not far away at all, I don't think. I think if you can just iron out the inconsistencies, which obviously you need to go and compete and try and win the league, I think that's the key thing.
And also Gary Cahill. I am former Chelsea defender and Samoa on also Edako Tuja and Anopemede Hunsen Bibre at the Pep Guardiola and the Azuris, the Italian national team Nobe Coach. Yes, opening any disa Jumari Nechipa because yes, likely say Bia Nam ye season na Pep Guardiola and some and to me and twaso and the Sentinel Tisiano. Opese da Azuris national team no eho ena no so ekodi ni juma na eno so etumi eboa mede ho nsem nyina nso de live on Denchaman Radio 91.9 the pride of Dencha, your most authoritative genuine sports station, the kings of dated and all the latest standard of events. Yes, and after the game from the players no up I lie.
Academic and matured sports.
And Cheerman Sports.
Oh, Tama, Rabbit is for Take. Yes, sir. Referee board up on pay our upon. Anthony really get Kokondoka. Hey, Papa. Yes, I'm talking dear, and need Jam Papa. On also Kokondoka, sir. Sisia dear Ban. Abara Coca Cocasa was say, Clan Mbappe, and Taman or Cassa or Munin Fumono. Yes, sir, Clan Mbappe, every discomfort. Enti opinion best wa kupira no opinion was so na ho to the World Cup enti enonso enono Liam Rosina de this is Chelsea for no still player ba kokra enwe she no good luck mpo ye won say coach di ankinya pamo na be hu player we no post no nice to work with you nice to work with you yes sir Chelsea there ba kokra player bia ni ho a ono so awese opinion your friend Liam Rosina well. It's natural say opening no Chelsea players no answer that feeling no cry. Almost omonya that almost opening the model form. Omonim say bia call a driving license in na bia no opening the coach dia. It's opening no training grounds and more better no. Ojude ho a won ti ase. Entim anonso eno Hollywood actor your friend Damson Idris also one no na all banyina na na ne to ade hunu se ball no bebubi but o say ball na se no 23-year-old Messi stand na Messi born ball no o try baby hwe Messi din and o say na
academic and matured sports
Messi born ball no anya no bi na me so me bo me die enti se me so ball mi jai o say ni nyina aka ho bi ntina ball no no so ejai enti na chese no so no Enzo Maresca former Chelsea head coach no yes Manchester City fonya no mope omugu so ni di nkomo pa se Pep Guardiola kwa ono so ebeba betiki over na tumi abo FIFA sisi ayasim in a match day World Cup e baso no profit nko a omon ebetumi anya eye $11 billion eno nem revenue a eye FIFA ebetumi agada in a match day enti enonso enon Oliver Glass na ekobisa na se sisia no enchenam eye bobokuo mu eye Crystal Palace no free mu akwa na sa ye season na ontumi ntoa so na coach ben na be recommend edema Crystal Palace na o se unya suma brewa ba bi okohwe de se de anya wa asemu ono no woko enti ade Crystal Palace fo be ye bia ɛno no deɛ ɛyɛ ɔmo masɛm ɔno deɛ sɛ ne dwumadie nya ba na wie ya ɔno nso ɛkɔ.
The wrong person to ask this question. I'm not involved in finding my successor, so you have to ask the chairman. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So, and we are focused with hopefully 5 weeks to go. A lot to achieve, not just in the Premier League. I mentioned it. We want to have a 5 in
Academic and matured sports.
At least
Denshiraman 91.9 Sports.
It would have been the best 2 Premier League seasons regarding points in Crystal Palace history, and besides that, winning at least 2 trophies. Hopefully we can add another one, and then for me this would be a lovely ending to the story.
And also a coach at the Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner, in Samoa. Ono som ede kotu dwa ena na no pay me de ho nsem bebre na ede amo yenyina we so na yen draw the curtains down na foreign exhibit of the foreign activity nyina yemfa ensi eha no mo ma se encyclopedia ensom abawre mu a obewura nsem no na bibia nso atumi akọ kama ede ama obibia edwe homrazia.
Boys, you come. See, I say, money to you do moon. I say, me, I'm a bashana, you come. You come. Baby, I think we should I didn't you know. I come to know we are changing this. I am by a body, I meet you. Oh, body, I should have me a movie, a shamia. Body, when you shamia. Say, you be a shamia. Oh, body, I should have me a movie, a shamia. Only when you shamia, see, be a shamia. Time will tell, time and I tell him, I see you be a ring, give me a bell. Nice to hell, what the hell? Nakopon sembere na sunshira no me de cheo. Abemu bua baba. Kasi de me kasiro ni say no time, musu betu usana, tino me paba. Aya wasa ache, usiesi, masana wa manafa, tino kosoko. Share kosoko, empire body jaida aya kosoko. Uhia nebe ko na insu nebe ko nyajidi ebe yo badi ebe. Body when you shamia, sisi you be a shamia. Body shamia, movie a shamia. Body when you shamia, sisi you be a shamia. Body shamia, movie a shamia. Body when you shamia, sisi you be a shamia.
Denshiraman 91.9 Sports.
All right, as I go video kwaba.
Bibia boko.
So ho ye.
Nyame adom, me gidi sa wonso ho ye.
The bibia boko. And so utumi die there.
Oh, okay. Bitimi die, say.
Utumi die, say Friday.
Bitimi die. Ah. Friday ntina bitimi die. And I will say bitimi die. Oh yeah, many tea around 3 basin in Minabi.
Because somebody MC for they say do Friday dia munda.
Oh, there be and rather na bibi no.
Sa.
And Friday bia ni enda. And then your program beyond no be a better baby.
No, okay.
And sanity. And then your program beyond na meko. Auntie. Yes. What you say? Okay.
Matthias here. And Saturday. Next weekends na una yewura no. And Sunday be trendy. Na oberum na den sem na bibiri na dia ba. Na wahwe nsem dia gu ho. Na if you guys for ye me church obi bia so bia ho ye enti open guys ye ya nante stars ne bebre matches ne bebre ba so you room
well famous ye be chia etie form utie
Academic and matured sports
1.9 ye be di nkomo enne e de afa matches anu betimi aba so on say semi final of the FA Cup no 2 games no aba so over the weekend. We are still hoping, say, for 22 years, the Gunners are waiting to win the kind of say no Premier League. And this time round, Bibi Papa beats me is Sidia Momo. They have a game to play against Newcastle. Measure sa game no. Chelsea's game against Leeds United. Medium come. Now me pe Roberto Di Zerbi ne post-match interview make it after 2-2 draw with Tim and Dean at the Brighton. Nothing media analyzing the mayor the can say no a tactical review of that game no. Yeah, the pictures near analyzing scenes and no team course in that game. So we be an funny time I be rather venue. Now, first of all, I want to start with the treble, that is the domestic treble winning that Tim and Dean at the Arsenal Nananke also more achieve and they for the past just a month and you're my air turning at the side of City. Already you can't domestic treble now. It comprises of winning the Premier League, winning the FA Cup, and winning the Carabao Cup.
Academic and matured sports.
Of which the Carabao Cup has already been won by Tim and Dean at Man City. So for now, the two domestic trophies are the FA Cup and the Premier League, of which Manchester City and Tim and Dean that is Arsenal are battling for the Premier League, whilst two teams now, that is 4 teams are also participating and battling for the the FA Cup. As it stands now, teams left are Leeds United, Tim and Dean added Chelsea, we have Southampton, and we have that is Leeds, Chelsea, Man City, and Southampton. These are the 4 clubs on Waka over the weekend. No, yebehu 2 teams are qualified for the grand finale and also. Now with the City, things have changed recently for them. We saw a City that had a poor run of form at the beginning of the season. Now suddenly things have changed. It looks like they can win the treble easily. Why am I saying this? They've already won the Carabao Cup. The Premier League currently at that phase. And now there is pressure on Arsenal. Now in the Liga, you can't say no FA Cup no. Manchester City of late any ball at the same teams are more competing. Now the stats and the numbers if you talk about teams are more competing recently in the FA Cup now, the reason why I'm saying Manchester City any born is one, they are the team with the most goals. 157 goals recently in terms of talking about teams on more competing. Now if you are talking about more consider less, it is certain Manchester City recently in the game. Numbers are me pick here and they met me the room analysis way and they say if you are talking about for the past 7 seasons team are waiting me consistently participating in the semi-final of the FA Cup a certain Manchester City, of which I'm waiting me competing the last 4 Man City they are hoping to come to the grand finale for the 4th consecutive years of which no other team and achieved that feat in the history of the English football. So all qualify about FA Cup 4 consecutive times. It tells you that Manchester City are starting at the end of baby and then they already about the draw. Now the last 2 editions and they failed to win it. Before then J. That is answer Manchester United Jeffrey and Crystal Palace won that in the last season edition and also. If you are comparing City to Southampton, now we bring Becca say Southampton are underdogs. Yes, because they are competing in the championship and I'm waiting to rise there to the semi-final. This is the 13th time I'm also waiting about final. That is semi-final, of which I'm waiting to qualification will move 9. So the last 13 semi-finals that team and Dean at Southampton, of which that is the record I'm waiting to achieve. Emu 9 I'm waiting to remo and so it may qualify to the can say and no a grand finale. Now the history behind this and they say for the 8th consecutive out of the 9 and I say for the 9th time I'm waiting me about into the semi-final, the last 9 Emo 8 the team that eliminate the Saints team I will use Southampton free I'm gonna twice kwaje. So it tells you say Sunday ye team be amana qualify to the final kwaje. If Man City are able to win their game against team and the Southampton, their chances of winning the FA Cup near high. Since history, my say out of the 9 timer, team and the Southampton both semi-final now. Ye yin a free no team no mo yin a free no omo to aso ekoje. The only exception no buy was in the year 1927 when Arsenal Arsenal failed to win the FA Cup. So famous share there medema na just say with the domestic trouble that we are talking about. Team and the Man City 9. If you are talking about the numbers I'm giving you and the history behind that. Now, if you compare these two teams now, recently, Manchester City elbowed Team and at the Southampton. City's record against Team more Premier League in the FA Cup better recently. Now, if you are talking about that, the last 21 FA Cup games against lower league teams are more league. Manchester City are winning 21. They have scored 84 goals and they have conceded just 11.
Wow.
So it tells you, say, whenever they are playing it against teams that are outside the Premier League now, Manchester City have upper hand to qualify. So me sign your way na Eddie go near next say Eddie go what they are made here for. It means that Man City are likely to win this game against Southampton. But we shouldn't forget that Southampton winning the game against Arsenal. And when a mass story in kakra.
And since Southampton performance in your bad.
Sure.
Southampton performance in your bad cry.
But if you are comparing Southampton matches on what ball of later, and when a mass supercomputer and predicted Manchester City on man is 74.7% chance of qualifying. So for the investors going to this game now, City in the month of April, Pep Guardiola in ball or good form on him or accumulating more points and of course competition be a wombiano or born home day. Well, I will tip Manchester City to qualify in that game just to boost their chances of winning that domestic treble.
Okay.
Now,
okay, but
okay.
So is Southampton going to score
in that game? Southampton scoring against City because of the kind of game at Manchester City at the Arsenal in their last game and their recent games now. Well, City should have any good defensive shape. But if you are looking at the statistics, the amount we about 21 games against lower Premier League side. We conceded 11, actually 84 goals. And their last game against Burnley, so I'm going to be producing goals. For me, I don't see Southampton scoring that game. But for the investors, I think they shouldn't go for more goals in that game. Maybe under 4.5B will work for the investors. Now, away from that, you're moving on to another thing. Near this car say, you better other matches, But another player I collapse. That is African player be minya news former Nigerian and Rano also I collapse from the kind of cardiac arrest. You see, this is one particular sad aspect of this game. Now recently, I say the same thing the former Ghanaian player Raphael Jamina. It was the same heart that is the cardiac arrest. And I know most of the times we paying him before now discussing more about that. But this is one particular thing that players be brain now. It looks like a monster. You see, the heart now the year Jumano. Style you will see certain players even in our local game, in our community here, they will be suffering from this thing. They will be advised to stop playing, but still now I will say most of the times now I know more. And then yeah, I did a person this, but I just saw that story. The best advice is famous if you are playing now who say hearts and wakuma wahome in this annual manner. The best thing is to seek for medical assistant. Yes, now Yamboa say obey me, and if it is possible, say also retire from the game. You don't lose anything. Fine, sometimes it's your career, but say obey a trainer be yes, over show crowd here and Kawanya. It has killed so many people.
Yes,
amu game no mo ebi mu dey failure mo the recent cases are yet but some people are able to survive. Recent AEC was in the Euros, that is Euro Diana where Christian Eriksen so far na he was able to enye obia na ya now most of the time so mutimi survive. Yes, one of the Euros or mo boy ya or no etimi nya sade. Now yenko screen so na eni nkomo. Certain coach and the Roberto Di Zerbi. You better first lineup and you better screen so. Now Roberto Di Zerbi but now say I can want some at the trail say if there is a coach to save team and the team that is Tottenham Hotspur. Until that pragmatic coach and Sakoba say Tottenham he will be obetimi save go. Obetimi ayesa ejumanu. So after the exit of Igor Tudor, now Igor Tudor last match of boy when Tottenham Hotspur elusi you better line up on where the boy they lost to that is Team and the Nottingham Forest by 3-0. Pacha obe to me enya team sheet na there atoso amamia that team sheet boy first one. Now omo monitor on Facebook no we look at the team sheet Urani din that is Igor Tudor at the room in his last game on J3. We got goalkeeper Nidiri Vicario in post. This is the lineup I need on the rim. Now at the left side, we decided so about Abrante Nidinde that is Van de Ven. At the left, Mickey Van de Ven. Now our partner, this guy Kevin Danso with the Argentine that is Christian Romero at the heart of the defense with the right side going for that is Prince. In a midfield, we got a branch and Edini Gray, Matasa, Tao Estate, and Dominic Solanke, Richarlison, the Andrade lead the attack now. Whilst Paul was operating from the right side of the attack. They got Omoje 3. This was the last lineup, Rani D, Adam, that is Igor Tudor, Eddie Jumaditia, Nottingham Forest. Now, when Roberto Di Zerbi, your partner said Onye Jumano, Roberto Di Zerbi, looking at this particular lineup, I realize some of the players are they are being used out of possession. Sorry, position I was here ball. So the first thing on with me and is finding a better balance for the kind of players. No, so Oba who said the stage 18 position and yet and from a certain team and the at the Tottenham. A team that is known say they are part of the top 6 established teams are nay or more Premier League no more. This is not the time for team and the at the Tottenham so mutimico relegation because in terms of Sika Samu Enya they last won the Europa League from Manchester United. If you are talking about finances, they are more. You bet me say omo in Eza and that's what going to stage bia e was a team and the Tottenham eco relegation. But the only thing is they have the quality but coach obet me lead you omo na ayasem. So they sacked Postecoglou or this team need 17 or 16 last season. Ye pamono after winning the FA Cup. Thomas Frank came, ye win more marker along the line and ye then a certain coach Igor Tudor ye kofane by and also be tried after just some days Igor Ekoi. So the first thing was to do is to balance and finding a better balance. So I was switching from 4-4-2 that was used. So if you look at this this was a 4-4-2 setup already did Igor Tudor Eddie into this game. Now in his first game he decided to move to a 4-3-3 formation setup. So Yenresa lineup now the boy in his first match for team and the team. So this is the setup of this or the room. That is the 4-3-3 setup. And at that screen is on more monitor on Facebook. In the 4-3-3 setup, that time not Vicario so Kinski was the goalkeeper of choice. Then he decided also first one now. Van de Ven was playing as a left back. But I realized said no, that is not the best position for Van de Ven. Yes. That experiment that he got to try, that was the main reason they considered 3. This was their last game on Motin Boy, draw 2-2. And they had a much improved performance. Van de Ven was being partnered with Kevin Danso at the heart of the defense. The left back record Odogi and yenya Poro. But compare the previous one now. Now one man advanced position and now Poro ni movie. So okay back on the two so now. Now this time one switch it back and then be born in normal position now. Obetimi ayejuma. Then we saw Gallagher, former Chelsea player, in the Yebeka wants him in that particular game. And yenya branch and did Rodrigo Bentancur in the squad, and also we got Bissouma also in the squad. The attack was Xavi Simons, Abrante and Adam, that is Dominic Solanke, and we got Kolo Muani. We are starting lineup or the room against Brighton. Because near Juma, now Brighton for no alternative in the league, Brighton trying to find a place in Europe. And of course, Brighton quite many chances to qualify for the Champions League per the current position. So, nobody a tier sider or no airborne home, you need to field a manner on betting Ayejuma. Now, the can is provoking a reaction. Provoking a reaction was that Tiene was here. Now, team ne echo relegation. So, what do we have to do? The best thing that we can do is I was see a mounting pressure on this team. So this is the reason why I was setting up with this guy. Xavi Simons on that particular day did a massive job. Dominic Solanke Juma, and we saw a certain player in the game, and so the Gallagher so into that game. So if you look at that game now, team and the Tottenham cover a distance of 112.4. That is distance or Murima almost 8 million cover. Now Roberto Di Zerbi making sure say the players no be Juma in that particular game. So if you are analyzing now, one, pressing high with intensity. Pressing high with intensity, Juma or yeah ni no. Jina certain player and the Conor Gallagher and afi no Abrante and the and so at the Jans Paul Van Hanke omo Juma in that game. Now, over my first image, you know, now I discuss it with that image and wait me also. On the field, no, you call screen, so now you analyze the game pitch and so. Now, you heard this incident. One keeper at the man Brighton, and a far ball way, that is Bart Verbruggen, and a Opia bone. So you see how they set up their team. How a Tottenham for decided say they will press them with high intensity. So you look at Gallagher, he be a withdrew. Gallagher and a mounted pressure, Babu drew to the extent we drew the final third. That is the yard boss of the 6 yard boss, 8 yard boss of Timani at the Brighton are all mounted pressure. So in this incident, or try that was what led to their first goal. On mountain pressure need to see almost swama goalkeeper ne say ball so ball na the next player was Jan Paul Van Hanken and a Rima on ultimi be far ball. Tottenham capitalized on that and it resulted their first goal. Now another thing that we saw and it said in a 4v3 overload Di Zerbi try say obetimi ayejuma. So my next image no near discussing on that. If you look at that image now here discuss now, Tottenham for no Juma Emma. So here a 3-4 overload and Juma. 4 players for Timanidin at the Tottenham against 3 players. This is another setup. Run it to me the room and the Juma. So still here they were pressing them with high intensity and I'm more to me lose that ball where you pass my Rodrigo Bentancur to me Juma and they got their first goal from this. So one thing already did deserve and share mutim say now we need to work that hard. Say that by bit new room and you bit yakoso. So the first thing that we pick in is gamer or no to me boy that was a much improved gamer or to me proud to ahead of side game of body tier not young for when Ego Tido was a coach. Now okwedi nkomo or catch you almost say side game now a boy you bet me winning 5 matches at Twaso. That was after post-match interview. Also, no arrogant. No mom no. Or did you say in the next 5 matches no? Tottenham ebe winning na. Of which Tottenham for winning na. They will hope say West Ham for be drop a point. Now the battle is between Satu no. After say Nottingham eko winning and draw by 5-0. The battle is between these two. Nay, omumi press omeko relegation. So it means that if Tottenham are able to win the next 5 matches now, next year say and you maybe to me akoso ediamom. So the first thing that we pick was that. Now Yanka Gallagher, or you're well suited to deserve in a style of play. Why am I saying it? The image now ye back on how are not all pressing hard. The rule Roberto Di Zerbi Ediamano to do in that team and they I know etimi elboa say consistently on pushy na fe onye adwuma inform it continue in the game and you will performance be great. Now Xavi Simons actually hit map on etimi down there. Xavi Simons was also a player and they also etimi born home day per the way etimi the man and in that game he got a goal and he got assist and a free roll and etimi the man is operate although he operate from the left side of the attack at the Martimino, but in that particular game, that is how I set it up. But the game nima, or man coin Emmanuel pretty, and a certain player bet me up one man achieve that is setting Xavi Simons and they and also a timid that game nimo just to make sure Yoma bet me across the mom. For the last game that we had, not yet, they had a good game. Now they are traveling to Molineux Stadium, that is against Tima already relegated. Wolves. The last 3 matches are Wolves abo home no. Olusu bio. He won against Arsenal. Arsenal about draw. Oh, and now we need it here Arsenal.
Wolves. I think about draw.
About draw. Yes. And before beating Aston Villa and Liverpool. So the last 3 matches at the Molineux Stadium, although were relegated, but still Enya dia done and I say be easy game for Team and the Tottenham. But I think with the Tottenham and how move ball in their last game, they should make sure they get at least the maximum points and you beat their ball. If they are not getting that, 1 point will even work for them because you to me say a star boy could that is championship now. A very sad for them. But it's a game on any day both teams are likely to score. But if you are picking a straight win, I'll go for Team and the Tottenham to win that game. Meaning some now 4 minutes on. Now let's move on to another pick. Already Dinde Xabi Alonso Abeloa ne Madrid there. For now the Omubeya say omo ebeji atum say Barcelona have won. Menkanisa Barcelona will win the league per the performance and no team also. But yam peke Arsenal, the Gunners against Newcastle. I mean fancy. Arsenal for no a destiny this year about the show munsem. Because at this stage Manchester City dropping a point, you know, and yeah, it is so easy for them. So meeting so now all that you have to do is to win all your matches.
And score more.
Because as it stands now, 70-70
so
and the goals difference
yes.
So the obe hopiane say obebon home now Arsenal body tia Timanidi at Newcastle time. And I say some time ago, no much 10 points. You see, one thing I give you Arsenal for inspiration, Kakrani say they will play 2 matches before City Bebo. So it means that if they are able to win their next 2 matches now, Arsenal will get City 6 points.
But if they draw and also be putting much pressure on them.
Sure. That's why I'm saying currently their destiny no a more munsem. But they have their recent record no. Newcastle are winless in their last 13 Premier League against Arsenal. Last 13 head to head be. So it tells you say they have a good record. Last 13 against Arsenal. Newcastle winning be. Newcastle are draw 1, lose 12. So it tells you that they have a good record playing against him and at the Arsenal. Against him and the Newcastle. I'm tipping Arsenal to score a goal. Goals no why again recently. And they can't afford to lose 3 consecutive games. The last time we have been in the Premier League, I check out. Well, Arsenal should manage the game. For the investors, I don't see more goals in that game. At least under 3.5, 4.5 for the investor. But any win be a me pick Arsenal. Newton K Brown say OT.
All right.
My Yanchiano also keep the fire burning. Okay.
All right. Etienne MC Encyclopedia na yakotse nka no. Amekwa da Emmanuel Anderson ho na yene no mbon komo no so ran semni mu na ininkomo. Elda kwaba.
Yeah, I mean.
Sir bibia bokode. Okay, you su win mama na entimi nya kama na right. Akwaba bium.
Yeah, I mean.
Say bibia bokode.
Boko.
Yere nyankopon ase. Ene Saturday.
Yes.
Stories ni bibre wo ho. E na afei so matches ni bibre so wo ho. Ene menim baabi a owura yininkomo.
Yeah, many a chiefo ne under say onyameriti en. Chia abaifo nye na machia Kwame Flash. Ana bechia me mama ne papa Mastini and Madam Comfort or more seven.
Academic and matured sports.
Denturum and sports.
I am free mice. Chiana and an premier shows with tissue. And Mr. Harrison our education budget officer. Kwame Flash United. Minia we hear one or two stories and some about matches and so. Over clearly this season, before then they could 11-11 on they may buy the issue Mechiana 11-11. Mechiana. Minia Osha a season ya ball Premier League ni more. Because you best player one out of the man. Because he best player one out what the man EPL this season.
This season.
One out of the man.
For now. Say Ibia. Ibia na nomination biana.
Between David Raya and Abrantia, a friend wow nipa Bruno Fernandes and Declan Rice in some way number one.
Okay. Let me say no me who say
Academic and matured sports.
See a ball
the last time goalkeeper BJ player of the year. Ache. Way back Van der Sar. So it's Arsenal to me league now. I said David Raya Neje.
This is one year.
So one year so Bruno.
Bruno.
Okay. Say Arsenal to me league now. Farmer David Raya.
Okay.
Arsenal to me Angia. Bruno deserve it.
You know you are doing 100% in the sense that. So I heard the three players here. Me imagine mo omo abobo pa. David Raya I am number one. Because we here in terms of season started from last season but that's 2 consecutive seasons go Abranten and done.
Yes
consistency I should clearly say Abranten has been a proven goalkeeper. Yanya Eke Casillas the Saint, Yanya Gianluigi Buffon, Yanya Thibaut Courtois, Yanya Ada Manomu Amunyina betwem kwa Yenya omo et Peter Check and the lies. Yenya these players are and as a goalkeepers are the game has ever seen. But on also the time or ready obetimi aye in terms of Arsenal setup no any normal or the back to Arsenal. And we clearly Arsenal situation baby omo baduru and omo contending for the league, you know. Greater percentage fall at the doorsteps of David Raya in the sense that in terms of clean sheet the saves any Arsenal points are winning the Arsenal in the game enormous. Yentimi and quantify in terms of say wasem. Abrantiana ekuta top notch performance and the saves and normal of year in the game organization at the back spot on. And baby Arsenal be doing no in Kenya the history with this goalkeeper. Now we clearly on say Odika can the last time I heard so be Oji Krano I didn't understand ya chepa and clearly goalkeepers on say in terms of departmental side of the game no I am na football no reward some department in the game say and your football ya bono come here say baby a you ta reward players pan e o ma she goals attackers no and I reward so one say goal there on numbers it comes with awards be comes with numbers and na mostly you ta now come here some of the department because ball no epa midfielders no epa defenders no now could do the last man standing goalkeeper it is at times says be a goalkeeper be a more 3 points than say striker should go me fan say bobo na say striker wa she go na game no e bia team any team be an Arsenal and Manchester United bobo na Arsenal LED 2-1 na say Arsenal striker no strikers be any share goal no edema Arsenal at that point in time na Manchester United enya clear cut chance opportunity me and you 1-on-1 1v1 na say ekoba say David Raya 8 me save more na wa enne no the 3 points no e dey amass na e bia at that point in time no na save no ho abehia che goals na striker na share no the sense that they keep one in the game one am on moment lose and the bet number say your bobo striker e bia team lead be say 2-0 at that point in time e bia says bia mienu miense bia goalkeeper ne be no e be keep the team in the game e bia the next person our striker for that team or lead 2 no e be share the third goal sa goal no who say that here but says na e bia say ni pa ne ye no e keep and as any the team the 3 maximum points but the football no it does not reward goalkeepers defenders and the likes and clearly David Raya dano he's so to us say ma Arsenal to the J Premier League gana will go into the history books for long time in the Premiership. Van der Sar no ever be player I tip him say obetimi age. Bruno Fernandes is making assist or bobo no the obetimi aye bia onfinfin o but Kobasa Manchester United and Timi anye self na o compare to any David Raya and no man advantage but as we know football being biased to certain department of the game no so we goalkeeper we are obetimi aka say and we are not the akoma Bruno Fernandes but clearly say almost a leaks are here no Ghana ABS even Europe England ABC say you go season in area now in that entire season player B team akọ relegation but na be best player league no ABS Ghana ya Kenfaisa na Abrante bi bo Kenfaisa never question that year no omukọ relegation question na best player due to individual brilliance and performance for the match season.
Yeah, because even you are certain players. For instance, Bruno say, we can say so. Our man you team anymore. Say we in the free more. Utu say tokro bi
abedem. We jalapses bi more. Ebia the winning team the winning percentage oni more. Say na eko. O mo so say na eko. Bruno has become an integral member or call all the shot Manchester United. It also deserves say bo omudi with assistant no man why you goals and the numbers of their man sports. We deserve it. And the Crowds also started with by alongside you know what New Jadum. Ama and Norman Koye he started so well. And Norman Koye Ede man but along the way no Arsenal say omo tete to na bottom leg no ema New Jadum ya Norman entimi ankoye ama no. Na me kan de wura Arsenal performance a minua omo dan edi ye hu Arsenal at a point in time you drew the middle of the season now Arsenal bought a certain number of matches there's a 20-25 matches now goals are my concede now from power
yes
me a day to say
at almost 10 games no more concede goals
yes run best 20-22 more baby now goals are my concede 5 and me a day to say at a point in time and I once upon a time Jose Mourinho record of course season in say all concede 15 goals you say be breaking but minia a free say starting second round no kon animu ba best 25th late fixture Urban Arsenal concede goal with ease and we share performance Arsenal edema eno na awarante ma beduru babia sisi a eduri pressure ede bre Arsenal no ade aminu ha adwen and Arsenal need to calm his composure pressure in terms of say manager na olidi Arsenal no ade a won need that winning instinct in terms of Premier League no onye evident eno na ede sa no ma no eba and clearly say Arsenal ebetimi a compose no ho na watimi unlimited that pressure na one so no I think say Arsenal ebetimi league na ya kaminia 50-50 because obia 50% chance obetimi ade
yes
but they see aduri obia about the same number of matches obia our the same points and goals no it seems how many now pay and yeah kwanya it is a ma in terms of percentage wise untimi Kenya say ebia City our advantage ebia 60% out of that maybe
because but the entire question is say when the City no so far they score a lot or share a lot and I see baby akwa no say you say ya wia you be na goals so
yes
and goals no Man City are share a lot than Arsenal
and
then say the way Arsenal concede you know no be Man City advantage for the league somewhere if say Oman could drop points bia and the Man City advantage is say Arsenal ebe bo ni game eja because if say Crystal Palace me call in the Champions League in the Conference League final na bit me about o delay o game against we know I think ebe Man City a lot of advantage to win the league
permutations audio go on adone you are truly right but in terms of the league table ne normal ye kan ho asem se sia ne de any number of matches ne ade aka no obia stand at position say obia 50-50 advantage say obetimi ade but depending on what no in terms of two teams what bet to no me you know una obetimi ade league in terms of performance wise normal etimi komu no ade aye say Arsenal ebetimi aka because bibia enya nyimui sa Arsenal to compose no now say me win all the matches may share a certain number of goals at least with the 2 in a game Arsenal team yet no keep clean sheet Arsenal will be good to go but it seems of late you know tokura be da Arsenal chire wa anytime be that solidity and go chire any the telepathy and Gabriel ne William Saliba antem no come here say virtually ayayara and me nyina gina say Zubimendi and the can rise form no and so adepe it will make gina Arsenal anymore no omo form adepe no eno ma pressure ba Arsenal so mo eno ne ade ha yehu but clearly yeah per the league table number of matches on about 33 go different 37 points 70 there a 50% chance for both obia ebetime wini na me di ewuram ewo matches eba so no Arsenal ni Newcastle na ebo na we Arsenal clearly say ne omo pressure dom so say at oko say omo etimi bibi de mo omo ho na league competition a dom anim omo Manchester City no they have the advantage say omo na edi kan abon
inti but unim say CCA no Arsenal CCA enema mienu
Academic and mature sports.
Denchirama 91.9 sports.
And no second one to score more
not to concede
to win the game and to score more because so this year games are be 5-5 you win the goals difference
and Arsenal so what some players be Messi on game to say Bukayo Saka or Messi and it seems that the firepower up front no confirm because the creativity and a normal obetimi aye no e dey ama strikers ne omu amata no it seems like from Arsenal game no
but end Ateta confirm say
yes oba back yes. And positive for Arsenal but say obi ofri injury ban so benya the top form na owo no ansa na okọ hit ansa na okọ na emere ne nkrabe na be kire Newcastle no ma enkoye emfa ma Eddie Howe ene ne mrantie no because of her performance on the air mind the league it is nothing to write home about her but be a players and no ma omo eye I said before the season I be how omo eye omo striker I feel call that Liverpool and no ho etimi ebedi omo trimu dem ama Isaac asem na make ama omo season omo say that starting year after say omo kofa Watemada edini free Bundesliga and them bar or starting so goals but it seems also no ejana dum yes ama normal and said that uncle ye but usha in terms of premiership in terms of midfielder untimi nka enya team my friend Newcastle so omo good midfield a bit team compete in any of the top 5 because Ugo Mares or Sandro Tonelli na Ebia Monfi Ejina Omo Enchen ha. Meaning this is a good midfielder. Obetim they compete. And probable lineup obetim they face Arsenal no. Ramsey Bell current Trippier needs no introduction in the game. Tao Malitia Omo Honoma. Ben ena ho Omo ena betim start to echero. Bruno Gomares, Sandro Tonel, Murphy, obetim Benyan Warlock. I said there are certain players Omo abo certain teams for number of years omo nya experience was our team no is a Warlock and money Ben money on my account Osola these are players omo no ebetimi make a difference na but over the form wise of Newcastle enye pleasant any baby omo did that leg no so I don't think say Newcastle come into this game blazing etima be push threat e dey ama Arsenal. But Arsenal needs to omo destiny esomonsem so omo ankasa so betima ye bibi na individually omo etimi actually all the shot in terms of say they should guide against complacency na omo ntimi make sure say omo limit omo goals concede no so omo ntimi keep clean sheet na at least who dey 2 goals e dey go opponent basket mu no etimi aboa keep will lead now other one and I believe that somebody can abo eja that is city no e betimi aboa ema ano easy pressure kakra e wo mo so and the probable lineup no as usual David Raya will be imposed Ben White Saliba Gabriel e betimi up the center defense Henkepe Zubimendi Rice e betimi ahwemfimfim no nya Odegaard Noni Madueke will start because Bukayo Saka after free injury bench no omo risk Kai Havertz Eberecheze ebetima start and Arsenal need to up their game in this game so no because they are in say also omo etimi eye bibia omo betima and advantage I want to say Arsenal sign up home against Newcastle but over some number of matches we Arsenal team tena home etimi lusu etimi bodra na Newcastle so mo to 2 omo no ya anya na makoso prize Arsenal but this crucial moment of the business end of the game no I tip Arsenal say obetime winning at least 2-1 bi ama enoma etimi akoyi edi amon game baso ewo game baako baso EPL no Crystal Palace and Liverpool and 18 abo. And this season so before last season FA Cup omumi onu ehia and Crystal Palace 18 share Liverpool eje FA Cup no omumi onu and sense aye and omutimi ese omo 3-0 and etimi eje every omonsem the free Liverpool nsem. And this season omo league omo first league be dan 3-3 Emma enoma etimi ekoyenti. It seems that Liverpool is finding it difficult in terms of scoring against Crystal Palace. Omo be boogie side am of late. But adia ba ko as I say yesha so say Oliver Glasner ekwan a ofaso a otimi set up the team no na man are difficult for Liverpool. Only Liverpool be share bia the oye say in 3 games American boss no o concede in terms of dominance possession no Edema Liverpool. Now moment team dominate game ni nyina. And at the end of the day no, obedi side say hit or counter. And the strategy ni formation I or the come 3-4-2-1 and ayana or the call. And Liverpool bet me up the ball ni nyina. At the end of the day we no Oliver Glasner Arsenal na so onana anya draw. Enoma entry enkoye from Liverpool. And Trevor Kran omono Richards Locaros honum ana brantie friend that man na go hono no otimi ebo in the previous matches amoboy no na otimi abo double pivot enfifi Adam Watene Kamada no otimi agina no 3-man defense nanim na laterals no aya Munoz ena Mutual omo eno etimi bua etimi ko choke enfifi no Eka the double number 5 the double pivot or body original the 3-man that's defense in any no about double number 10 at the general on 1851 kwano but tina benya 6 players and as a 6 players because Nunos any Mutual Ebeka the pivot on Watson and Kamada no about piano Jeremy Pino no abo sir in terms of say omo 18 about the double number 10 no the Matata etimi ejina the lone striker e de ejina nim eti abasa na mo bobo na Liverpool process bo na then boba ko mienu ombeya no na o makatch omo on a counter due to say boys na ewo animu hono almost speed Matata no Sane Jeremy Pino no almost speed inti basa pobo so wa catch omo etomo mabo no super omo locate one winger whether Jeremy Pino na as double na Matata no then no Drew Matata ambo so ma say and this season so we are in the 3 games omo boy na no Matata ese editi omo a etimi abua ema enoma etimi ekoye edema no in terms of say ekwan omofa so a omo ebo omo no set up no eti amana difficult for Liverpool say this season no ombetimi ase Crystal Palace so baro shek clearly Liverpool in the last 2 games and I see say omo form no abakakra ye hwe ekwan omo befa so omo betimi abo omo game no and we are seeing say Liverpool able mo Anfield Crystal Palace will prove stubborn to them. But I still tip Liverpool say this time around no obetimi enya good results e honum ma otimi adia consolidate the top 4 finisher any one of the likes of Chelsea one of the likes of Aston Villa no pre hono ama enoma etimi akoye e de amomo so I tip Liverpool to get a slim win over them one enoma ebetimi akoye Chelsea FA Cup semi-final against Leeds United Mekai this season a normal Leeds United they Chelsea in terms of league ni mo o ma Chelsea pa a normal enkoye edema Chelsea 3-0 and the match Chelsea omo esisi omo and I'm expecting say Chelsea has nothing to lose, nothing to gain in terms of this season performance. Almost performance and we clearly this is a chance that SSC Chelsea team make a statement after some massacre Liam Rosinier in terms of say also Bebrena Kase players in the Pam Papa no being Abrantia your friend Enzo Maresca Enzo Fernandez and Abrantia from Marco Chiara and I am Apam Liam Rosinier but clearly Obia Amfa in terms of say or the message eba say ya permanent no ebia or we say well this anomano we in terms of coach now o players any in terms of one pager bibia no you find things because say any obetimi aye bibi in terms of say obetimi nya resource any normal aka and so Chelsea a typical example. Okay, under Velas was players and a mere pamono. Obayano, Obayasa or Salani, the big boys I know watch us at that time. John Terry, no Frank Lampard, no Macama, young guys on Etmiabo. And I'm gange up against him. And a man etimi echo periphery. But Omo Pamono echo, the same air to us, and this crop of players, okay, say almost as almost criticizing it. In terms of formation and the training regiment or the from Enzo Fernandez Bekan Emma I won't send me breed to the sense etimi a man suspension 2 matches and normal etimi but me one not the no almost can correct so no after so massacre manager we are looking up to the players say now manager no ko and the no most penno a different ball game altogether and as a different coach and edemo baba boy and oye interim it is the ball be as munimbo na se match than a mobo abra and they need to bring their quality up now against Leeds United omo boogie side for Chelsea no omo etimi I raise that mentality say na enye na omo nya ade and Chelsea is likely to have your Pedro back even omo captain James so babaka ebetimi aboa ama no ma etimi akoye so Chelsea is praying awo ana ebohuma yeah expect say Chelsea betimi atoto no ma ye na season anoma omo de omo fans afam nyina no omo etimi apipa omo niwa mu nusuo kakra ama anoma etimi akoye say o get it to the final of the FA Cup so I'm seeing Chelsea getting a slim victory over Leeds United. Leeds United will come into the game say betimi a bombarded and as betimi a Chelsea say betimi reach potential and as the person here but Chelsea is starting the game as favorite with the new breeze able Chelsea no they need to get this win say na be betimi aboa ema enoma etimi akọ
yeah sa game we Isanka more former coach in Liam Rosinia. Okay, street me for Lisa.
Yes.
Street me for
okay, street me. Because the attitude of the players on the field of play, no. And spicy up. Almost so this time the boys in their court say, many Janin they should go and do something for themselves. So man kasa and say, omo ena ebobono na omo etimedi sere kakra smiles. At the Abre Chelsea faithful so no ama enoma etimi akoye mi ne
eno I am Mr. Elder Emmanuel Anderson ena etene nka no ono so rem ti e ba fie ne ya be de fie nkomo okay ti ma me Chelsea e fi sem no efa enfim GFA discipline committee they are back biem omokoda ye but omo sorry sisi ade e ban e se aduana so fine akodia tie homo yes almost metu ya 10,000 Ghana cedis ema empenifo because yes na no mu game wa omoni Dreams FC ekobo ye no omantumi answer mo supporters no mo supporters etotom enyema ebago prama no so enti ombra metu ya 10,000 Ghana cedis ema empenifo eno ne nsemo a free GFA discipline committee eba eko edete aduana and I really want some at the year for na sir. You're fine, no. Oba kai say na no so. Almost the same fine according my Bechem United. Some of them 10,000 Ghana cedis. Almost the same issue na say supporters to object and I feel so much to me and control or supporters. Enti they some 10,000 Ghana cedis. And almost town coach yaya malam yaya edibetu just say or no say omo musika pa nanka omo ebetua na omo de akọ omo work up ne pa dia lalai ensikrada na exercise kan omo ntia better me not from the official communique about Montana omo say omo de associate omo self from in some omo assistant coach ne kan no ntinese asem omo assistant coach ne kan no assistant coach no asem e no kan ye wankasa club ni dimu na emum ono an dimu e no kasa nti asotwe bia wo ho bia no assistant coach malam yaya issue nti eno no issue a Bechem United omo e de aba mountain so a ana pemere hon sem e de ema yetiefo Ghana Premier League sem ye first me games na hold on people and so it to me eba so but the name Dominic Frimpong yeni nti omo so mo de ono no nti no omo ashede na sisia on the 6th of May and a Ghana Premier League games no and so ebeba so enti 6th of May no 11-1 is everybody tia Bechem United and Sanam Adechia Saturday Fishes FC and some about the tia Swedru All Blacks na Sunday I hold on to so media ma any baby any Go Stars after some Nations FC ni Hearts of Folk Samatas 96 any Basakoli Stars Karela United and a Young Apostles Adriana and Hearts of Lions na Dreams FC and some Abon Eretia Kumasi Asante Koroko U17 AFCON so enche ebe kickstart ewo Morocco ebe start 20th of May na baby ansom etumi akokama na features ni Ghana your first game you be born on the 14th at the etia Algeria now so your next game your Senegal na ebebo na ye abra yene South Africa and so bointi Algeria, Senegal, South Africa. When games are U20 yenson yebebo. Yerum ewo coach ayenya no Osaberema. Osaberema di nkomo bebre na otwe wiye na Osaberema se on wenya aba no oye winning coach sem Ghana boy ebu bia win na eko ede emayen yenkwana yenkuti Osaberema kakra Osaberema kosi si ade Osaberema na ni dio na Carlos Cures no de eno ye akire sisi a unya to Osaberema bia coach no Carlos Cures na medi no nkomo de akire no
I'm not that in Egypt, in Portugal, in Uganda as well. We have 33 million coaches, right? This is influencers like that, and so first of all, my job is not easy because the 33 million coaches around me to be easy to make decisions. But I want to answer to you directly. My personal experience and my knowledge of football, there is no bad team in football or defensive or attacking coach. The language that I know for myself, and this is what I'm sure.
Etiano ayo Osaberema Carlos Cures nsema odem ekotu dwa eno no afi osem yenka bibia se ono no ohia support no party ohia fi obia ho enti ne technical staff GF president Omampenini ye supporters obia message afem police o se ono na o te se ufili oto ado pa ba ono go se ono na ba ono the new dawn enti feeling kakra na afi so mo support na mo confirm man pa na munya support na ebeboa wo se nya kasa bebere baby edu no enya kasa se o memetuma ese o se da bi enya mafumafu bia pitch no so na be kire nti ono no de game a wodwene ho ye ne Panama no se o se Panama no o ye obia simple kra na World Cup aye kono enema ho kama edema Ghana Carlos Akosi enti Akwasi Cures ensemo ode kotu dwa ena yede atudwa enti yewram na yemedi nkomo na topic to be discussed. The arrival of Carlos Queiroz, expectation, demand, and our films from Enyema, as I say, oh yeah, na Bibianson, etumi eko kama, na Bibianson, etumi eko kama. Iti mame shasi, Mr. Chaffin Pole Saba, na or the whole take a cry because now oh yeah, Nyema. Because send a chance will give with no now or Kobe be a near my say, but I mean, the entire chance be do hard here, but yeah, you do feel any if you come. Inti Aquaba.
Here, my Mr. Ochre, Sir Philip, and the Church of Christ for Mukwe, Sefi Asariunso, you know, I'm not going more moko, Minchom, maybe we be a stressing Yankopon. And form could do a fear some people. Na club world captain na kan asem nana
me se me dwene ho amenti ase e kwa be so pa na mo fire semi final ho mu kodu ho na some performance we dey see ye mfa ndu ho
e dey desani akwaje trophy na manje so and zudi ya botre
enti yeri nko Carlos Queiroz aba osaberema na osarema berema ba wa ba no nyina no expectations demands and our friends so enema ben na yesa ye na yetumi succeeding under Osaberema.
So the topics for discussion, are there 4 topics?
Yes.
You bet me a few. Carlos Queiroz and some that is a and ra make honsome into you mentioned and Joe Bebre. What I expect from the FN is manage expectations. Manage expectations. I've said it's Obi, the fanfare around him ain't too much. This is a coach or Babu coach in the national team. Any coach will Babu for piano. There's a buzz around the coach. Any GB and I'm coaching home. I saw a magician of Babes Sanyama, but coaching a magician. The FA should manage the expectations around Carlos Queiroz. May maybe I may prepare the next AFCON Ebeko. How I ever qualify and the last AFCON Yanko. So even qualification for a major tournament is not a problem for the Black Stars. Maybe you ring be feedback. And a hormone person shall say free. Carlos Queiroz AB. Or to a Black Stars teamer into me qualify for AFCON. Into member countries on Goja AFCON. Uncle by Nanka Black Stars, you would teamer, you could do the semi-finals. From the semi-finals to the finals, they sank Emre. Okay, we should Nanka and Nani and expect Sanko Goja AFCON because semi-finals to finals. But he's coming to meet a Black Stars teamer. The last 2 editions of the AFCON near Koyano. Last one near Koyano, you film a group stage. The subsequent one near Koyano and Siano, you into me qualify. So yeah, that form pa. Into ye Ghana near. Me kasa Carlos Queiroz and call ye AFCON my one year AFCON to one year de was. Baby, ye what CCI ye football munu. Ye will form. A country like Ghana couldn't qualify for a tournament like an AFCON. Into we should manage the expectations. Into World Cup here idea. Or America crave to prepare. Then as much as say or what knowledge about the Black Stars team. There's a difference between what's in chain. Now one knowledge about individual players. Any Ubabe manager now who did them better? There's a difference. And our answer there's a difference. In Carlos Queiroz, Etiabontiano, he has an in-depth knowledge of every player. Play wait to say. But then he's getting closer to the team. I feel obviously players no Omusubai. Quite many of players on first one, manager getting the best out of them. This is a Nipa Wakoji Portugal pay, Wakoji Egypt pay. So he knows how to manage it, but as so Nipa needs to get the best out of them. Nipa Suban they different. Answer no better players na say. Obunwa obes me communicate with them, need take time. So enye ye ku World Cup ni bi e ko film group stage and it's answer give back as Carlos Queiroz asa. Ukra na dey ukwa gina on kwa ka be hiamre because football, this is football. The tactical aspect no ho, but the human aspect is important. Football muno, human aspect. Nipa na oni nipa be adwuma. Then na be yema nipa no, wakogina park no so wotumi ekun hu ama. And I said it here the last time, say football muno, the tactical aspect forms about only 30%. The 70% ni nipa no so man. Omo ni Jose Mourinho na ye adwuma pay ni ano. Uti nzama makafa no. Sabowe to say anka. Ye ka se nkun hu ma Jose Mourinho kan ko beku no. Any tactics so. Eto was playing arguably a better tactical football at Barcelona. Say about Inter Milan. But he enjoyed the time at Inter Milan more than the time at Barcelona. Why? Tactics, nipa, human relationship. How I bet get it better. And send me to Paul Pogba so can the same thing about the relationship with Antonio Conte as compared to the relationship with manager friend Alex Ferguson. Because of said na Conte tinase, na the relationship ni yenti. Conte was able to get the best out of Paul Pogba. Since na Manchester United. And that's when you from managers, they from coaches no. Managers, they manage the players. They build relationship with the players. Not players, now I give their all. We are killing the map. I think I'm coaching killing the map. It's BC Tubana. I think I'm coaching killing the map. It's BC dribble. No, those players are traumas animal. But you manage them to get the best out of them. That is when Jamaica said, Carrasco race, we have to learn the characteristics, the suit, and a pioneer work place to get the best out of them within a short space of time. Until we should manage the expectation. Now, for pressure, be young Congo or Sabere Maso, Yinya with time, he's a very good coach. What the CV, and then Yama Wayano. Even though so keep you winning trophies be there, but it's what the teams are called a certain level. And over the push and in way, I think he's going to be a very good manager. So in Yambre Nasi the manner that's what between you Japan. The call for local players. The local players will have to justify themselves first of all. Or the Black Galaxy. When was the last time Ghana it been qualified for the CHAN tournament? At Japan.
Yeah.
2017. At Japan. CHAN tournament in Buin to be qualified. Oh, the local players no Monkobo tournament. No mon qualified. Unto qualified.
The last time a free ban near money.
A free man in Mukobi. Everyone Munkobo. And then Channel.
CHAN.
Sir. The Ebo Ghana Hanamana.
David.
Sir. Okay, Yakubiache. That's the point. The players no more look at. The question is how much is the form Muana. The World Cup near any major tournament and your gifts. And your teddy say you per se the local players no more could be no. As a player fighting for their position. As so much the reason why I said your moko. Their players are more opportunities so more to improve. Players be on my more opportunities. But I want to improve one. And you have a sentimental home. So if the local players in the person call Afcon Nebia, famous as some chere say, ye form monko, and umu to me actually, or the Black Galaxies no more. And a Black Galaxies and some quackable a tournament, and I say, might be your fair players. Okonoma, Carlos correct Kohomu training, and he maybe or identify one or two key players be as some justify the reason why here, a say the moko, and you can say, should I gift her, yet the HM freezer. Now, my last week I'm passing new commands and my sorry, I call look. My 3 years in my whole club I self-destructive strength Kumasa Santo Kotokota. Club supporters SEO don. But supporters Nankasa a chick club no. What you say? I always see you young mepe. What you say go first start here say mood way ba. The no. See your name by you. But people are beginning to threaten. Go first start here threaten say mood way ba. You be say we and support we. And we also buy you say we are support we, and that has been the norm. The work to kwa no. Ye wo nani amposa era no. There were a section of supporters, a section of the media. No some supporting nani amposa. Any other section of the media, making sure that nani amposa be failing. Imagine this.
Black Gala 2022, and I'm qualified the last time.
Yes. A section of media, ye be possible say Emma nani amposa en succeed. And truly one succeed no. I feel no more say yanka. No we didn't also support to Kumasa Santa Koto. And then there's a new board. The board will have to appoint a CEO. Their names are mentioned so could be a Weber. And there's a section of the supporters and the section of the media. Almost 20 Weber news you're pulling it down. Self-destruction. And the board we made say okay be some Nipa or you're unknown to the scene. And I think that to be a clean slate. Nipa nkofo bebre nim no nipa on sheda onye wida na yenhwe de ono so bewe yehu then yan posa board ene nkofo o pick you that squad na ne yan posa pick na amfa no together with that board na amfa no famous a man atwima so say birthday say kotoko benya a team omotumi awe because they pull him down ene yenye ma de ni infeeli no e too much. Okay. And way by way say, na ye trick club no echo last year, last 2 years here, the board ne stroke CEO Nana Prinkra, Omo Era no, Omo pick Karimzito, Omo signing players, Otu for Momuska about 15 million. Saskanini has gone down the drain. We are going to a different season. CEO no so be appointing a new coach. Coach no also be new players. Meaning say the cycle keeps on repeating itself. There can some say there's no stability in Kotoko. Because the stability here. I didn't tell Florentino Perez why successful for Madrid, sir. And yes, we be out. But he's been with the club. What club do one the culture of the club? What club he's now becoming an institution or club.
Okay.
But if he keep on changing and chopping, anyway, but we need direction here, the club keeps on becoming stagnant. Second keeps on repeating itself. Internet, board for CEO for coach for play for now yeah, they are both next season away. Now some go for winning and so Sakiomo, you go for different one. How do you grow with this kind of board and this style of running football? Into the self-destruction of Kumasa Santa Kotoko was, as I said, also there needs to be stability. At least, Yenyanko for Metana club room for 3-4 seasons, not almost on the job. In as much as I say, sometimes you learn on the job at the camp. Now when you experience what they are running the football club, the chopping and the changing, no, was as I say hard journey. And they likely say some players beyond my bosses in Wimoko. Kamara bi aboko.
Abba, you know, listen to that.
Listen to Omu ni abeko. Emmanuel Ntwikura de me yiti me supporters me mana tana honum. Listen you. Ntwibeko, we beko. Ne anso akofa another 12, 15 anso aba. The last season e can want some the same thing. You see, it is a perennial problem Kumasa Sante Kotoko. A club of that stature. Any some sense Sanoma Bibresa, and it is hurting them, hurting them in history, a bit hurting them going forward. If someone has stability, kakra. Na yem pamno on we run and Tonoma, who must Kumasa Sante Kotoko better now, and I didn't say a good say between running football in that manner.
All right, Polly. Since Polly we know, changes biaba.
No, changes my changes the Bam say chair 2 weeks, changes in 2 weeks, and I buy. Yakobo FA Cup, yes, Ghana police in Yakubu FA Cup. At time release anyway, yes, police in Yakubu Honum say any football assassin, but it seems the same cycle because a Kotoko Kobo Najua, player, driver Kuprai, and as a driver who because of so many escort. And the Becca was Sema Sekumasa Santa Kotoko, Tukwaya, clubs to Tukwaya, say police for Diomachi, and a Kuguye. And the other force of the Aba, say for the next 3-4 weeks, no clubs there will be security. Edbecker clubs no now they are 2-3 weeks later now so Togo. So it seems that we don't learn. It seems that we keep on repeating the same thing. Pole that no in Suyanwe and the hooliganism still a way legimu. Referees ain't cheating still a legimu and to Quantoqua or Venus Yamamu Remini still a legimu. And I say we've not learned from it. Sad because assembly here. Ye pija some no so me say time Poli win no because anka that was the turning point see best sanimo ye game ye football security wise hooliganism wise any in nyoma enfra we league no mo I thought that was the turning point best sanimo but the turning point lasted for less than 2 weeks and we came back into normalcy it Dromadian AC Yakobo ball because of said there was no security around into Akronfo aba be shoot player man Ephraim. You better hanom next 2 weeks play almost omutu kwan police back be video mechi. I don't know whether see omuntu mi ntioma kan say I don't know say whether say we are bo se be jego na we keep on repeating the same cycle. So it seems say a league your football no, how we run it. In as much as say we have to esanki sua ade on the job. Ni improve on different areas of your nyoma no. Yeah, they we stagnant. And we be 8 minutes. It's say a really sad for Ghana football.
All right. I know I am Mr. Charles from Pole. Yes, I'm quite the whole now on some Remu topics. You know, or Sabari Mabawa Bay. Yes, expectation demands enough in Yema. Say, yes, some year to me a year, and I'm feeling so a year. And conform Brika say local players. You know, say ye feel more. Now the question is, omo wete say you from Black Stars no and I say just police nyeke omo dey distract here and I feel some poli wu a wu ye you know eniama bi asesa and answer still that and a kokotoko and or distractions. Eda.
Yeah, I mean, with the local players, people are crying say SSC ye team enya bi yen senior national team no. Two-way affair because one, people are looking at say a foreign players na e de omoko no say 26-man squad and a FIFA say envamra now for all a year offer all to be foreigner only say 26 players no be an kick more answer na yaba best say be 5 players betima kwotara bra munya bi mo amun keke bon na yaba says I go for a foreign press in form. Okay. That is where people are coming from. Then people are arguing say send ye sound go for no say we say omo kotena no mo keke bon omo keke bon no ma ba. Then you look out for local guy or what prospect. I don't know what they require and so will be what did 25 years 28. Now what na akwatana blaster team no. Esa so for be at least all best 18 up to 20 years. Betimi abua ama in terms of say or kwa kosua de any experience. Ama na timi abua one okọ blaster even why say bobo ni din kura aka ho no. E man value no kosoro. No matter what say one keke bomb no so kotena blaster bench kura a man player value no say that time no say now oh yeah if say oh turn $100,000 now market value price that so so free blasters and also free work up on a buy a bit my peja etiano ade a eno so ye point and go for build 80 menu omu gina sa page ni say wo talent prospect ene omu age ni muru 20 years no we young ni say a man exposure dia and can for san go for no go but o for 25 26 28 for no not ya okọ no so nya bi mmode na okoya na because enye for future use we first 18 19 20 years onim say the development no ebetimi akọ because work up kro suya de kai Ronaldo de Lima the original Ronaldo no one that time oba work up no onyini o
inti na say o de ne say yen form nko no mo kwa omko suya de
yes at least
but just imagine just imagine say bia men kan say your call work up yi ya the local place ni bia kan ho akọ ye call ye jabo ye first game na second game ka say bia men ka say mre bia virus bi ATC year camp enye say in work up proper say bia obi na ache no bia year camp na virus bia ko tie si ho na bia be 8 players senior players so omobo na virus bia ko che omo na omo ntumi ambo na enkura ye omo afuna mkosua de omo na ye me depend omo na ye mfo omo mbo
blasters ekone ye ko gas ye ko wake up ana yes ye ko wake up
ba sisi ano ye pese ye ko ni ye pese du quarter final semi final enu na
baby blaster team ni gina no eno no e dey lead to other topic in one e be blaster team gina sisi ya obi e be ka kire say quarter final akure bit meduru e ada so yeah 116th
but football is unpredictable
yes
sometimes
but on paper sisi apa blaster team gina we quarter final na yeah best performance no say catch us a bit me duro I had that with this squad no I don't think say yeah ready say this be a coach no craft answer football there be uncertainties room it here say eti obi a o mana akono o ye young no o kusua de na betimi aboa and two ebi mus ba with a say yes success a betimi meti politicians ni be say and they say fa yemfa quota bi nto this a be boost the economy because nipa no nya or this kind of back Oba local player bese ya fa bese 6 na de Roma omukọ pedium ombaji bi de ombe bia na ombaji bi nti oba sound scanner ba omamu ha ama etimi abeboa other clubs ono say ya fa player so de kwa we club a usaji FIFA sika FIFA tia plan ka sinyina abeboa ama yi no etimi akọ ba me de say ye fa de a ye mfa young guy a ofa obi tse jewa ni age no onye nuru 20 years no was 18 19 mu a ekroy ti such player no ye wo ebetime nya such players ni bia almost performance no kon gan kakra ebetime abo with Carlos Corres and some de makache mo say na meka say expectation ma Blasters and as a Ghana for enye obi anya na adwene say ye kono quarter final ye kotra ho ne ade ye team ye wo sesi e na let's say qualifying for you cry then the amay AFCON you are in a group o bo ya when is if o man na manager for ne ade wo group ndim qualify be then anyway tin akọ it took to take a miracle and a bit me a save you say it yes ye lower expectation on terms of data e bit me aboa ema se yekoduru a na chesa nyame ama bi anase enoma coach na wa ba na bi a vibe de be ba any tactically no more betimi aye no and betimi abo either than that no may you expect much from them and coach we onye obi a obe build the team o ye ka o ma build the team on kan
okay
we ye resource oriented e bi a obana e wan go bi to mu a ba se obe bo part to part sa no ma no Ghana for and lower my expectation. Send be ya or the ebe kwa aba na ebe nya abotere na se e basa se AFCON next 2 years ye pese okobia na se hwe na coach we nyi obi obetima build from the grassroots formers na sane eja no kwan na wetin a pe coach a obetima build team no e de akọ be a ebetima minu anu ma banti ma me fancy na
Bar can be so cast fa poli we no.
Pole you know send less can mean emphasis and be a man. Yeah clubs no kasa from FA ABC yeah clubs no so no obi ansu ade mfiri ho. And hooliganism obo say we HC referee a supporter fan na ye HC referee TSC pitch so ko referee and if is a pole incident no buy no as a school mera yes sir first week second week in a strong if you are going to agum no be ahead up and we believe say you believe say on beto to no may as a ba say pole wu ye no you hear say the safety in only the that stadium no and an yebo ho ban forgetting say am robbers emre bi kotoko ekobo and allies am robbers ba attack omo Lagos cities ni omo aka ni ai these are some of the things say you take into perspective na holistically you timi eye no maye but even at the stadium na aka mambo no correct saying after say after 2 weeks no magigui ama ene ukwa ebia crowd of ebia be say 10,000 5 policemen ene won it e ba say kitikiti ye bi ba e be de no matima control crowd no and if no de omuni ma ne fine na o ma ya this season then na ska na mo de minimum kura akotoko atua fine be say 5-6 times this is o matua say that 20,000 Ghana cedis kura ya 5 and as ska saying na other teams no it say you know mo timi fa emwa play clubs no emfa in terms of say ombetimi aboama and ombetimi akoyedi amam dan say ombeje fan na dey na omde and any ade na me ha me no it they should do things right both the clubs and so be kura am pemetro men bia and as team security e be di omachi e de akọ ma enoma etimi akoye menua.
All right, Elder Emmanuel Arnoldson, MCS Akropide Kakrewina.
I think say Mr. Frimpoli and the Elder are talking more on that. We've not learned anything as a nation looking at a coin Polyfast who we on the 2nd of February to 2025. Now, you hope he say after his death, you be putting measures in place. You see, hooliganism is actually a thing that we can never fight. See, you be eradicating totally from the game. The only thing you be is the measures because if you are talking about when our hooliganism started here and so many years back, and you experienced hooliganism in the game. And hooliganism in Yadia, a Ghana has seen Kwan and a Kosoha. But I'm not saying that because on my BINT, we Ghanaians also tolerate that. The best thing that we can do is say, pull it I see you share issues surrounding it. A basaya ubia Canada after some years, and after some months, we saw say Ghana pretty for who said DAC a and in the football fraternity, we don't want such a news say a better say or back craft say famous and we have all been in the game. Stadiums outdoor etim ko say e bebo yenusu akoma o game na say o kona wa crash o ko fie ne be wiase no e be leading to your death. I think say o crash o ko be my your parents and I say omo ben no omo mpe say obeko, and that is the best thing. And they e was say omo di measures gu akwema e betimi stop that. Now poleu still we are killing people yakobo ball without escort. The recent case is see here and they a young talented guy Dominic Frimpong and meeting untimely death, I should say it that way, because me kwakobo ball minim the basic now near ya attack here na fe no be wiase no yetimi agye kra eso etimi free me nsema. I think say a very sad for the football fraternity no e ba say ya te say na lay say ka no aban no any Ghana football impedifo no be pese omode measures be go akwem oh yenya dan sade as dem provide the escort this time run after so be free ma wie no je moje hwie gu ansa na we have ya try see betimi esu ade but ya football na che, so we should know the best way betimi. So I think say if you are asking say after the death of Paul say changes be about, still we all maintain the stand say no, Ghana still na yekwechi and the aspect of fighting for and are fighting against hooliganism. Now on the coach, Carlos Dienwo.
Yeah, for Osabere man come.
Ghana and Gazadi are ni come. Yes, you see, one thing that Ghanaians be bring na amo mujidie kakra ni say they feel say Carlos is a new coach. Obeshe Ghana who trace back to our history. The 2 times my you qualified 4 times for the FIFA World Cup. In the year 2006, I first qualification. It was certain Orani Dindi Djukovic and the end Koi. Now, money baby or the year Ghana were in a group with Omayani Didi, Serbia, Italy, and Yetimi, and we lost our first game to Italy. After that, we need 2 subsequent matches. We qualify, we beat Omayani Didi, and so added Serbia and Yakunya. Yetimi qualify with 6 points in that group. The following one, I buy them. Now it was the same another Serbian coach. That is a foreign coach, Milo. That was where Milo so only there. To the first, that is the second World Cup I called in 2010. Then we saw a massive performance. These are some of the reasons why Ghanaians now feel say now there is a foreign coach. The last edition I called it was a local coach, the end call. So we still feel say the foreign coach will do it because 2014 was Akwesi Pia and at the end a local coach, and the last edition 2022 was also a local coach. So this time round, switch it back. Yes, I copy for a foreign coach. We see it, and with the case of Osaberima, why Ejuma with the Iran national team in the World Cup for 3 times, and on the Iran national team number. So if you are talking about coaches on Mabo World Cup, maybe that when what taking South Africa in the year 2002, Ejuma and Wabefa. The Egyptian side, So in terms of African nations, they be answered to my ejuma, and we have seen his pedigree in the game for 40 years experience. Well, the only thing you bet me anticipating for a much improved performance from the first one it's me call. But as to see a back the already one might be a developer on the Ababedru, the likes of Morocco and Afrino, or might be Senegal, any other, and they keep very crowd, they won't wait me out rise here and there, almost wait me about for so many years, almost wait me now qualification to the World Cup. All these nations, no. Gradually they are understanding the game and they are putting things in place, but still it looks like Ghanaians are not learning anything. Yeah, anticipate, but yeah, limit your expectations. No, say at least Ghana air kwakoje for now. Yes, set some be for my a much improved performance. Na bibia and so intimate also on that side.
All right. But I say, my man call Okolomia Hono on fire hard to folk news and from Ray. Okolomia Genega, a bidding como. The next 5 minutes, you Kulumia, Como, and you have about hearts of folk. Okolomia, Akwaba,
Daniel,
so here.
I met you in Timothy.
Sir, I had a Yanko say.
Now, don't
Yes, Yanko Pojinum, Oguso Boy Juma, and I answer you.
You know, she I say, Yachet. The mamma home Fidicacy won't try the monster to my mother.
Because the last time now, what here?
Yes. And then my better now.
And then my better now. You know, come on. And some if we had to full Cuba, and 2 goalkeepers, a camp. Omo you.
And now, Nam me Pesenka. What did say?
Famous.
So, control and a tiano will be some question. Can you imagine no simple? I'm say, any week will be some as me. What it has your bar first now. Your top player. What is a team B top player? Who know or that graphic mboa. And now from a bar because you will be fapping at your.
Okay.
Where dear?
Phone.
Dear no. Anyone to my phone must to data. Eddie Gusso. Maybe no may be over beer and amboa.
Okay.
Now me fappen no much or any days. I know man any modern Ghana is here. You're queer him. Make I play a bit to take Kofia Banga. Oba house of Okunu. Unkwan house of Fasunyano. Na first year house your top player and teacher lady ya will be a sebi. Will be in a scabia yibia no who. No, I no.
Okay.
What your camp? Oba to a new sign. And do better answer a lanky player. No. And then I'm a mediama. More ma when you wish I had to co player who want to discuss Yakofano. Oh, blah, when the scout to us in control.
Has his Kadia Kofum.
Blah, there you come, Mammy Chet,
almost the Kakra.
Mammy Chet, tearful. Mincha has a folk, a bush of corning. No Montias, say, and I'm going to be sending message, be said. May birth education to a memo bomb with the name to blah. Yet the time the age,
yes, almost.
Time no crime and some. Let's modern bounty. And a ja, or would be a coming. Me a football young, me who placing yet dread.
Okay.
Operating. Sanka mail you too much, but I didn't see that.
Alright.
And the telephone in the answer. Yet the millennial age, ma. And the Balam Cambom. Let me tell more, or Montiasi. No mum, you won't pay him for you, ha! Blah, the Asian boom. Mr. Alaji has champion chairman. Teacher or not, teacher. Mr. Nkrumah Adasan. And Mr. Johnson. Something for a video I'm to me now, summer. Or me be defend me.
Okay.
In telling Bell Fidian to be am Dick and Bomb with the answer. Tell him the water was. Into Mr. Mentada. Mean to me, body now, one, the young come. Ne, you made in my nephew. Miniam does it, Ubisam has. Dear only. What's yours? You could press 10 o'clock.
Me too.
Okay, look at Blaster. House of folk near crowd. You're the place Makum, and soon would buy any above customer 7 member. And you're the coil, you're quite die. You're quite bamboa. Enough when you're 2026, your mom say.
Since make almost 3, right? Because Kelvin or SSB.
Your mom for an assist.
And 2 goalkeepers.
Your mom for.
Okay.
Ah, Nature say and Ghana and change for one. I have no more problem.
I didn't hear.
House of folk. Didi. Osia dear yo. Nyameba. Osia contain. Ghana only coach ya wa best. Hey Didi.
Okay.
Because I didn't do America. Oh, your players no kurana. Blah. Now here Juma waya. So far so good. We Ghana, Brainy Bana Beji Cap Ameda. Brainy Ghana Premier League, Brainy Bana Beji Ameda. How to folk in Kwano crowd? That Dick says at Wasso. A busy da, a Brofuno BC. But only Ghana and Jeff Olympia, one more house of folk, no master pen. So how's the team Lydia yet? Would you be bien? But yes, you are Titia between the animal. Ni chano no. Woman can with your mockers and no more bon compact or much say.
Okay.
A mere house of folk. 2,000 a born my best war. A dear house of folk, your team bell letting you in Ghana. Nobody.
Okay.
And then a bibia touch me, bibia touch ma. Now as a folk. Modern bunny Sonia. Now we entertain. Now who has a folk now the pen. Now do any echo team beacher, team not to play who we are in your blah. Why mistake?
All right, Mammy Nasi.
And did you make a child to folk in say, your supporters and say, Yanni, your 4 players near the amount how you. Yanni Dada. One more country or much less or man or Mujuno Mano. Yanni, understand goalkeeper. No, dear qualify.
Okay, Messan Soba also, but
okay,
obedience. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Would you have free?
Where start from?
Okay, Saskon Yanko. Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, what put them kakra?
In Charlie, Famano. And Yama, there's not police escort. What do we get there? Never can be 1 or 2 weeks. I'm going to the Uncle Da, of your Kuja. And I play as Nanko, I'm up to Ghana. I'm over play, I'm going to you know, there's a mob player to police escort. No, but the mob is jump call. Not on my men to get not from one, not money. For the boss I did for my minutes. And they are not there. As I say, I'm almost police barriers. Police barriers here, and not police escort. As I say, I'm putting my mobile. They are no but mobile no could come here. They know how many young people to of Amazon.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Good morning, Udi Abel Free.
We are the Koy 11.
Okay, a Muda, Yanko, Yanante.
None of them are here when they for me, all
right.
All day, and Chelsea, 3 months, maybe some Chelsea, one penny at the IM.
Oh, a year pen of a pen once.
Nothing of 4 years of our house. Look to buy a car. I don't want your stories now. I say when you're in Chinamini, to keeping a woody. The Bajan when you have a drama, and it's your Conano.
What's it?
Now, me Chelsea supporters in Abo say. Mr. Leas out of Dukoy and your mama and the other part of my wife. Yes. The morning I mean,
you go so your bonfire, said Chelsea. Ebenya winner to me. Minia, was a video, Yanko. Minia.
I mean, this is a open pizza.
Producer, number no, they say, or fire. Why don't know? It's the end dear.
And answer the papa.
Oh,
so good, young man, young person.
What's it?
The African and Conan in your home, and the African. There was so more.
What's it?
Minia. May cook up for Kakara. Has the book the African people. The hard to find him. But the Canadian she will be able to be a supporters, the friends, the union. Also, your friends say, board members in the near Yabo, the girl say, 12 member board on the number in the Yabo, the Loma.
Okay.
Aha, if you know so more of Gangi, I say, Dr. Kwame Chindi. Dr. Kwame Chindi is someone that brings up also the gang get your because okay, Emra Obano, every in Chasa Rebecca said, Ubi leader of Mokai. But the Amolo can come to be foreign and Kawakai.
Oh, yeah, it's you. See, okay.
And you also make gang get the Oban and Sadia said. It's maybe a good community and Yaji Papa the bra. Is that the Lucia? Now we have a dry Yadi Kukuya Demo. We can almost show on Sadia said. Let my Canada, the second be a moment for the survive. Sadia said. And the time is hard to not either to Sadia said. Maybe I can come out for my my leg can be you I can see you. Ciao, my crowd.
Mr. Mate. Morning, we are going free.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, you didn't come on. All right.
I was off for the place. Oh, you're more African police. You're more channels. You're not a good yard. It's about the killing of the city. If you are so colonization, I'm using where to put them. If you know, they don't know my. If you look up there, look up there, you can't open them. It is almost 49 for Trapata. It's really simple. If you're not going to play for family, and I'm like that, let's see a forward tab in the whole come up. Everybody, I know, and I said, Ghana said, look up there. I'm not trying to put on it. I'm not trying to put on it. I'm not trying to put on it. You know, yeah, you play the Ruja. Yana, I have to have a pass out of it. That will be a buyer. We are all most of the players in the room. I want to have here my head. The guy in there, but the player is no one now. It's not a possibility. You look up players far. You are the woman to tell you. And they are going to walk from Guano. But then the apostlement, Gana, it's never this is Papa. It's one in a rock. How do you do it? You know what you are doing for 1 minute.
Yeah, say good morning.
Morning, Philip.
Yes, sir. How do you have free?
Oh,
okay. Yes, sir.
Okolomia, Mitiapa, Namonia, Macassia, Wobo, Wobana, Uchiayo, Najiayo, how to book your dog. Yes, I want them. Yet you bet you have a battle. Now, Yaka Kotoko, Jawusu, Zamikati, there. Press or Mato Munina, Amugoji, Siaga, a Jawusu, coach, a Jawusu, Pamono. I don't see no Pamono.
I just said, so you are known to me, Nebium to Anoyako.
I don't see nothing why I never am a planning. Coach, one Potoko legend, one Pobida. Now out of lions are someone. Woman, some today, number one, put them up Pamono. Now out of lions, you won't be a woman at the buy. Woman, Potoko Chimo. Then I tell you, you shall come. Go, you to one go. Now come back, you shall come. No, Mutimo. And the end out of folk. Yeah, never talk about your wife, MTP and DC. Say, I have a cat. One year, yes, I have a continue by a yamo. Yes, I can't tell myself. One year, a team woman, young Topano. Now, the answer can say, yeah, the house of folk. Yeah, you say your coach in India or your papa. And you think I'm my 2 players. Goalkeepers, 2 quality goalkeepers. So, Benjamin Sally said, Mamma Panan, work up. No more confine your professional goalkeeper. For your 5 years. And in the account, one for Benjamin, one interference in India. Now, when you coach, you know about it. I have somebody more time, Belma. Benjamin Sally, or else Alabama, and yes, I and yes, I'm a share them from Abetanati. They may cut the movement and drop of Mama Manning. Now, Mamma Benjamin Sally, no go why, and yes, I you been your local park.
Yes, so yeah, that's it. All right, yes, that's it. I had the idea of for Jimmy Dino, ABC. Before that, my mama birthday na. You didn't come on. Happy birthday. I don't know. Yes, happy birthday, confirm. I love you. Osina Kaide man West Babian here FC. I love you goalkeeper. Nyago Ponsha no waka hona bibia nso enye kamana wo dey. Emfa nsira ne nkoso bebrim emfa emawo na luck emba wakwemu na go post no obetumi amane kama na etumi nso aboa wonti happy birthday to I love you. We if you come na chika me boss and I see emfa wo dey enko emfa emano okolo me yeko
Ondoda Ghana famous Ghana njenjrefo Benjamin Sal beko wake up ni jamoso
obeko
any house of folk ye ni o si ade yo a ye kan wo mu no coach no obo hyen blame no obo di kan hyen ni busa se mi manu ene na ye busa no bontuma fidie o si kan ye busa ma sem kura mu nya no ye coach no obo hyen blame no obo hyen yes obo hyen kran wa me si kuma si o hyen kran en 20 me kan kire se duo man ya qualify no obi ko dem na ayikan me bla yikan me papa yikan okoje 5 what dey go wa monani o obi dem wa nyi bi on dey say 2-1 endo me enwa na pe wo me famous Emmanuel wo me enwa na pe
say ni coach ejina coach ni
coach be
de
coach ni wanya baga na ofri brani na ofri ni kuro ma ba de what Ghana ya sa chisu o
okay
one tibe bia ye me samye je de ni nan ati yam ji o
yate
je bi si na no ye ma bi me chi kira o
all right
na mum supporters me sira mo ye du tu no ekro bia be ye ya ejimenti du so ye wo card be jibi ena no ya wada me papa bi hu me emfuom ye fra no obroni wa beje ni de fefefefe a wotua endi wo pese house folk mu ye de ati chenche na ma minua edut ena be ma house folk yetumi ato players yetumi tuye kan na mum set ye for bose na si ade ye be wura mu house folk e ka bia di bia no inshallah all
right
ye be kra ni nya flo
yate
na me ko social media me hu ade bi omu dia beto se kotoko player we kwampoku wababo has enye nukure never
yate
house folk ni nko gina ba bia nka se wababo has ndi misre ma mote sanze munya mo bia amflem ene mo bia amfa metum platform so ye nko ho ba bia se mle no so ni ye pena ye ni ane bobo pun mewulem what you say
yate
ndi house folk support tina obi anu ntu ncha ope kakra ngakra jumadi ne edini yenya chebo che yebidin de bibia be kama na mekoi me chia supporters nya na ma chia me customers a omba me ho beto ma de na me nti bibia be de ebi ye cha man jo na mkwan so a okoyi ye se nya nkopon so omfa no nko emfa no mra ma mu tua ska ni nya no me da mu nyina ma se se diska na mana okobo ensa na ma bibia de aye kama amaye kundura ndi mu ba no wachi
Mate famous anti ye fancy na King the Fire o take over na o mai krum hanye sese regulate legacy odeba King the Fire odeba
informa de 6 days
okay
ko bo mama de ko mo
6 days
ko mo office wo
6 days
yo
yesra o mo informa yesra o mo
ko mo office
o mo de o me yakọ o mo office o ebinada no ekuara mfomfo no ko mo yesra o mo meka bibi nche mo nso light no mo nso mo bedaka
okay